So by now you're home and you have survived the trip home for Thanksgiving. Guess what? Flying is about to get noisier, slower, and maybe more expensive. I'm Christine Romans. Welcome to Your Money. In 1978, the U.S. had 20 major airlines. By 1990, just 12. Since then, Delta merged with Northwest, United with Continental, and now American Airlines with U.S. Air. You get the picture. Ticket prices have come down since the 1970s, but in the past few years, they're up again. Prices at the nation's 100 biggest airports are up 6.5% since 2005. Now, a study from USA Today says that's thanks in part to service cuts at some airports because of all of these mergers. Fares at Savannah Hilton Head Airport and Dallas Love Field are up nearly 36%, up 32% at Washington's Dulles Airport, 26% at Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, 24% at New York's JFK. You get the picture. Mark Murphy and Richard Quest join me now. Mark is the founder of TravelPulse.com. Richard is the host of Quest Means Business on CNN International. Mark, could these fare hikes, do you think, spawn a new generation of low-cost carriers, or do we just have to deal with this?
In the near term, deal with it. In the long term, yeah, people are going to step in and start filling those spots, because once you see those ticket prices rise, somebody who's got a lower cost per seat mile is going to step in and say, hey, you know what? I can make some money because my cost is lower than some of the legacy carriers even after these mergers.
I think it's going to be very difficult to get somebody coming in who says my costs will be lower, providing if they're operating in the same aircraft infrastructure. They've got to buy more expensive planes that may be less fuel efficient, and they've got to try and get a decent rate of return. So it is possible.
Yes.
I think it's highly unlikely or improbable because the costs and the barriers of entry to aviation are so high. I'm afraid these airfares live with them.
Oh. Well, and the fees, too. Oh.
Yeah, and the fees. The fees are here. But the one thing I would digress on is I would say that you have pilots that are at a much higher cost for the legacy carriers. You have union contracts. You have pension obligations, all these things that don't exist when the low-cost carrier steps in. Some of these guys on the low-cost carriers are paid $28,000 as pilots.
Very big changes in how we're using our technology on airplanes. You might want to pack a parachute in your carry-on for your next trip if Richard Quest gets a hold of one of these. The FCC may let passengers use cell phones just like this one. Actually, not exactly like this one, but we love this one. It's our, our neighborhood prop. A survey from Delta finds 64% of passengers say that would have a negative impact on the flying experience. Airlines would have to install equipment to let cell phones on planes communicate with towers on the ground. But where you hear, airlines may hear. Richard, the airlines already bill us for food. They bill us for checked baggage. They bill us to change our tickets. Would they pass on potential revenue to bill us for talking on this?
Y-E-S. Which planet were we all born on? Of course they will. It's going to cost $1.5 million minimum to put the antenna in the roof for this thing to communicate.
But it's going to cause riots.
Yes.
It's going to cause riots.
I mean, you ever sit on the train coming into New York City and hear somebody talking, loud talking? This is going to go on.
People talk about personal things.
Oh, yeah.
And imagine the kinds of problems it could cause on a plane if you're talking about something that could raise suspicions among other people. I mean, we'll have to really talk about serious etiquette changes.
Okay, there are a couple of things that let's roll back. Everybody's getting terribly excited about this idea. First of all,
I don't want to hear you talking on the plane or anybody else.
First of all, the FCC not may, the FCC will. I'm predicting it.
Really?
Even though the chairman of the FCC doesn't really want it himself, he believes the FCC will believe that airlines should have the right. Remember, that's the FCC's job. It's not the FCC's job to make sure that you have a comfortable journey and a pleasant experience. It's their job to offer you the opportunity. Then you're going to start seeing rules coming on. You know how you have the little fasten seatbelt sign coming on, or the no smoking sign? It'll be a no cell phone call type of moment. Ultimately, it will be rules. There will be rules. It will be there will be nastiness, and flight attendants will have to police it.
Yeah, well, you can forget that. So here's what I say: the FCC is going to say it's okay to have cell phones in the air, but the airlines are going to blow up their business literally if you have people talking on the flights. Imagine somebody doing a conference call, business conference call, sitting in their business class seat, filling that cabin with whatever it is. And you think about privacy. I'm a business guy. Do I want to have conversations, business conversations?
Maybe we all just need to... No, hang on. Maybe we all just need to learn the art of saying, I say, would you mind terribly keeping your voice down? Please, would you mind terribly? I'm trying to sleep. Do keep your voice down.
I predict a new type of human bubble sheet. Right? That the airlines are going to
implement. A new kind of noise canceling
I think
headphones.
public I think public opprobrium will eventually be heaped on those who talk at very loud volumes.
Oh, gentlemen, thank you so much. There's so much to talk about the flying experience. It just keeps changing and not in the right direction. Nice to see both of you. For more stories that matter